Okay, so we are live. What is going on? I'm trying to do something a little technical. Just give me 1 second.
Technical difficulty. As I almost murder myself trying to say technical.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you remembered. Banking on you forgetting. Love you.
Okay, still. Okay, you can hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sweet. All right, so we are on, and in today's video, we have Herne the Hunter over here,
What up?
played by our lovely Rowan, and we have Crescent Moon here. What's going on, guys?
Hello.
So, today in this video, we were going to discuss about Herne the Hunter, and I guess kind of my relationship with him. He's over here, not over there. And just who he is as a god, because he's
Yeah.
not a deity who's talked about a lot. I feel as my own as a personal devotee of him, especially being that this is the only book written on him that I think I could at least find. Which is sad to think how many other books are written about other gods.
I
It.
feel like, yeah, I feel like he does get left out
He
quite a bit.
gets blended in a lot
Yeah.
with other gods, and that's where I think it is because he's mentioned in other books, definitely, but especially when they're about other gods.
Yeah. And he didn't come about in the realm of deities the same way as some,
Right?
which
No, a
makes
lot
him
of
interesting.
yeah, a lot of witches are known for working with the old gods. Herne isn't an old god.
Right. He's newer to about what year?
I think his reign and his legend is the 1400s.
Okay, so yeah, very relatively new.
Yeah. So
I think also he's not really much talked about because in the beginning, when it was all being, written down, the Wiccan Reed and the dawning of paganism and the new age traditions, it was more centered around divine feminine than it was divine masculine. I feel like it's more new now than to see divine masculine than it was divine feminine.
yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that, but you're very correct on that because you hear a lot
Mhm.
about goddesses, but well, like we were talking about the other day, there's only a handful of gods that actually get talked about.
hmm
Right, because back in the 40s and the 50s, in the 60s, when it was becoming more mainstream, it was gravitating off of a culture that had been monotheistic, and that monotheistic deity being male.
Yeah.
So that's why it was more centered around the divine feminine. And then as we see more days, divine feminine being honored more and more, there's more places for the divine masculine coming
hmm People are finding more of that balance,
Hmm.
rather than segregating women or segregating men, the masculine and feminine.
in.
I mean, you see that play out through nature, so it would only be right, not
Yeah.
right, but fitting for there to be a push me, pull me kind of thing with the energies between, the feminine and the masculine.
Right.
They definitely bring two totally different things to the table.
Oh yeah.
Right. Even in the
And
stories of the Wiccan story of the god being rebirthed and then goes through death and then the mother goddess gives birth and then it seems like the male figure's only really true place in that whole dynamic was to die, to reborn, to consummate, and then die and be reborn. Meanwhile, the goddess is there the entire time.
right. Oh.
Yeah, that's true. But you can't have one without the other.
Mm.
Exactly.
Well, we've
And you,
also
oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I mean, even then, you don't hear Hearn be talked about much because whenever you hear horned god, I think a lot of people automatically either think of the Green Man or Kununos.
They think of older again, the old gods, from
Hmm.
way back. And we were talking about, you and me, Kristen, we were talking about before how like some people, if they have a lot of masculine energy, they don't need to find that in a deity. Or if the same for if you have a lot of feminine energy, you may not need that in a deity. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Mhm.
So I could see it that and why certain people don't have both deities, but
Well, it's like I pointed out, like I never needed. Well, technically, you pointed out, like of course I wouldn't need a masculine god because I'm a very masculine woman.
right, you're a brother.
I am. I am.
You're one of the guys.
Hmm. I'm a guy with complications at least once a month.
Yeah, yeah. You're a guy with the womanly complications.
Yes. But like
So,
I also embrace the fact like I know I can't do everything by myself. Like I need a male in my life to handle certain aspects. Could I do them by myself? Of course.
right.
Should I fucking have to? No.
No. Let alone the struggle we go through.
Like y'all don't struggle.
I struggle. I'm little. Okay, I'm little.
But you're still stronger than me. If you want to break it down to body structure and muscle structure, you're probably still stronger than me in some
When I see
aspects.
you, we'll arm wrestle and we'll prove who's stronger.
You know I got bad shoulders. I got weak wrists.
He'll
I
cut you
can't
with
do
his fingertips.
Yeah, we'll finger war.
Yeah, we can finger war. Have
But
fun.
even me, I'm
Oh,
getting the early signs of that arthritis. Don't be doing too
Oh,
hard. I can't even turn my wheel the way I used to.
I
thank
mean,
you.
because your finger is worst. Your finger is used to one position, holding the blunt. That's why.
You ever seen like that TikTok trend that's like, why is your hand stuck like that? And they're like, I'm grabbing on that damn knob all day.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It is. You know,
Hey,
it is, and it was were. But
it is what it is. It is. This is not a blunt, ladies and gentlemen. This is a cigar.
that's true. That is
Okay.
a tobacco product
Correcto.
from the tobacco fields.
It is a cigarillo.
It
You see
was.
that? Brown. Okay. Um. So the first question. Does anybody want to start off the first question, or do I start off the first question?
I mean,
I
I
don't
can.
know what the questions are.
I can start off. Oh well, then I can start off the first question if we want.
Then I will send them to you. That way, you have the questions.
Okay.
I didn't think about that earlier.
So, when did I come to Herne? When did I like? When did my relationship begin with Herne? When and how? And
Yes.
that starts way back 2016, I want to say, because Hecate came to me in 2015, even though I tried to ignore her. But he came to me on a full moon, during a full moon cleansing, and I was cleansing the space. And as some witches do, they're dancing in the process, and their
Mm.
mindset goes off to other places, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I was dancing and cleansing in one space, I was dancing and doing other things in another place, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And in that other place, Herne came to me, and he started, because I have music playing, and one of his songs came on that I've never heard before. I never added it. It was just a random fluke that it came on. And he came to me while this song was playing, and he started dancing with me. And Herne, in my experience and in my practice, is a very quiet deity. He does not speak much, and when he does, listen. But even then, he doesn't speak much. He'll speak to you through other forms of communication, be it telepathically, just movement, whatever it is. He'll do something to communicate rather than talking. And
Mhm.
through dancing is how he communicated that he was my God, that he is my deity, and that we have come together, and now this is the time for us to begin. And I remember looking at him being like, yeah, that's so nice of you. No. Hecate would beat my ass, and probably your ass, if she found out I was about to get another deity up in my life. Because at the time it was just Hecate only. I couldn't even bring a statue of another deity in without there being some issues.
Yeah.
So Yeah, so I was like, no, I don't know. Thank you. I appreciate the offer, but I'm gonna have to decline. And then Hecate came in that same space dancing while doing this cleansing. It's all very hypnotic. And through her dancing, she communicated that he is right, he is my god, she is cool with it. And if there is other deity, she would let me know, and she hasn't since then. Like anytime she is the type, because with me and Hearn is the type to like if I have something I need done, depending on the situation, he'll say ask Hecate. She'll have a stronger opinion than I do.
I find that works oddly because it's like your description and the brief interaction. It's like a married couple. Ask your mother.
You know, that's literally what it
Yeah.
is. Depending on the situation, if it like, because he can handle his own, he
Hmm.
knows that on his own. But him knowing me, knowing that it is a duo, like it's not just him. Sometimes there is works that's just him.
Hmm.
Sometimes there's works that's just her. Sometimes it's both. And again, sometimes it's ask your mother. I ask
Yeah,
your mother. That's
yeah.
exactly the energy it is because again,
Definitely.
sir, it's like if I wanted to work with another deity, not devote myself, but even work with another deity, depending on who it is, he would be like, okay, I don't care. That don't mean she don't care.
Right,
Ask your mother.
right.
So, yeah. Which is funny because that one Wiccan priest of what he said, being like a child of them, I'm like, well, they do act like parents.
So I mean, that's the image that you just conjured up for me. Was yeah, they get along, they can have fun and play, but when it comes down to work being done and things need to be taken care of, they each have their own defined roles.
Mm-hmm.
They know which roles they need, and
Mm-hmm.
they know when to say, you know what, this isn't for me.
Mm-hmm. This
Talk,
isn't my territory.
yeah, talk to him, talk to her.
Correct. Yeah.
Hmm.
And a lot of times she'll even chime in and be like, talk to him. But
Mm,
mostly it's always talk to her. Because he's the chill, he's a very chill deity. Definitely don't piss him off. But he is not one to, again, he's a very chill deity for the most part. So
yeah,
his opinion is more like, I don't care, do what you want. As long as you're like, it's like that parent. It's like, can I go out with my friends, your father or your mother, whoever's the cool parent is like, I don't care, do what you want, be safe. While the other one is like, well, you didn't ask me for permission. You know what I mean?
right.
Um,
Where you at? Who you gonna be with? How you getting there? How
exactly.
you getting back?
What
Yeah,
time you getting back?
right. There's a
Um,
curfew.
there's always a curfew. Them street lights tell you your curfew.
Hmm.
But I lost what I was gonna say. Oh, I was gonna say the mentality I do get though, because I don't view them as lovers by any means. I
No.
view them the best way to explain it on an earthly realm is divorced parents that are still good friends,
Yeah.
very good friends. Like they operate like perfectly fine. But again, it's like, but when the night is out, the day is done, mama or dad's going back home to wherever they live. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
For
Mhm.
me, I just go in between. Like they got both custody.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Nice.
but again, but with the divorce, it's not like they don't like each other because they do. Obviously, they
Mm,
wouldn't be working together with me if they didn't.
yeah.
And that's something
Hey.
too with Hecate is a lot of traits with her is similar with her. Like her happy place is in the middle of the woods. She is known as the Queen of Oak. You know, Hearn hung
Mhm.
himself from an oak. There's a lot of
Hmm.
similar traits, so I can see how they would blend, but also how they're separate.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think. Okay. So, or do you want to ask a question, James?
Let me check. I don't really have to ask many questions because I've known Kevin for years, and so Hearn is a topic of almost every conversation we've ever had.
Okay. Well, look at the list.
I am looking at the list. Color association. Let me guess. Green.
green and brown and black.
Foresty colors. That makes sense.
Herbal association, almost really any kind of wild plant.
Well, let him answer. Shit.
I like when it comes to the herbal part, the first thing, even though it's not an herb, it's a tree, is oak. For me,
Right.
my world tree is the oak, and he hung himself from the oak tree. The oak is very prominent in his legend, in his mythos. So the first tree, the first anything, if I want to work with something earthly, plant wise, I go to the oak tree. There I will always feel his energy no matter what. No matter what tree it is, oak always carries his energy and he will always be there.
Now, here's a question for you. So, especially in these old rural towns that we have out here, I'm sure there were back in the day when hanging was one of the most, seen upon punishments for murderers and stuff. Would you say that if you found a hangman's tree out here, let's say, what would be an example? Somewhere in Kentucky, would you say that would be a good place to call upon his energy, even though it wasn't him being hung there, but a prisoner back in the day?
Uh Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't know what you just saw, but I apologize for the mess over there. Um I would say yes. The strongest energy you're gonna get is from an oak tree, though. A
Hmm.
hanged man on an oak tree, definitely. But I want to say, be careful because in the same sense, Hearn also used that same oak tree to hang his own enemies.
Hmm.
So you don't want to just be going to. You got to be careful who died there and why they died there. You know what I mean? If it was someone, it's hard to explain. Like if it was someone more of an innocent crime or innocent in nature, then you would probably be it'd be a good way to work with him. But if it was someone who deserved to be hung, unless you're calling on him for vengeance or something, I wouldn't really be doing it.
Hmm.
I would say
Okay.
for anyone, if Hearn's Oak is accessible to any witches in England, that's where I would be fucking at. That's exactly where I want to go.
Hmm.
But yeah, but I would use that just on its own energies of a of a hanged man who died there. You know what I mean? A great area for a binding.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm. So, and that in that same sense, when it comes to like an elemental representation, Earth, because he was a hunter in his day. You know, he was the best known, like he was the best hunter the king had at the time. Hearn was his favorite. It wasn't until Hearn sacrificed his life to save the king from a stag that was about to impale the king, and Hearn jumped in the way and killed the the stag by stabbing it in the heart with a knife. But in the same process, he got impaled and died. And a mage brought him back to life via the antlers and using natural elements, magic. So Hearn being a hunter, being a horned god, being one of the way of the wild and in the woods, definitely Earth.
Does that aid you in all your spell work or just certain spells or workings or rituals? Like how does that energy play into how you work?
Right.
Or do you call on him for a lot of things or not a lot of things?
So when it comes to calling on him for spell work, no matter what work I do, because of the deities I have, they know whenever I get down to doing witchcraft, they're always present. I
Mhm.
always call on them. There's always an offering, and they're the first ones to get this offering. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, any time I work with earth down to even using herbs, roots, stones, I feel his presence, and I call on his presence, and his energy is strong because again, he is a deity of the earth. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
anytime I use anything natural, I'm calling on his energy and his power.
Okay.
Mhm.
Excellent.
And there is certain workings that like I will lean more specific towards when I like if I want to work just solo with him. Like
Mhm.
prosperity, money workings usually will be tied into him some way. luck, anything materialistic, because back, in the 1400s, him being a hunter for a king, at that time, everything was all about the materials. You know what I mean? Down to what you used, your bows, your arrows, your knives, everything was made of natural elements.
I can
Oh,
see how in your practice Hecate helps you um, traverse the metaphysical world, and then
hmm
Herne helps you more with the mundane
with the
world.
natural world. Yep. When I
Yeah.
enchant, I don't have it on me, it's over there. When I enchant my natural ring to help me manipulate the energies of the natural world, he's one of the deities that's first stepped up, because I'm working in the woods. Anytime I work in the woods, I work in his domain.
Mhm. Mhm.
We'd be in the woods during the day and at night.
hmm
I'm constantly in the damn woods.
But even like if I need to do some serious type of spirit work or exercise a place or a thing, I've never exercised a human. Um, Hearn is one that I definitely would call on. He is one of the leaders during the wild hunt to claim lost souls or rogue spirits. He is one that is, when he hops on a black horse, he is very strong when it comes to getting spirits out wherever they need to be, picking them up and just running like the headless horseman. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And same with Hecate. She's the lead. She's the leader of Ghost, the queen of the spirit world. Both of them very powerful and anything to do with commanding spirits, banishing spirits, conjuring spirits, anything like that.
Mhm.
Necromancy, divination, gift like psychic work. They're great for that.
What do you feel his season is?
Yule, the winter Yule tide, because during Yule is um when his wild hunt is performed. Is
Mm-hmm.
on It's like around, it's like during Yule. I don't think it's a specific night, but a few nights, and it's around Yule. Some say that the old tradition of leaving cookies and milk for Santa Claus dates way back to leaving offerings for the old gods, so you don't, like, during their wild hunt.
Okay. Make sure they
um
get nourishment or something.
exactly, also to make sure you don't get swept up.
Well, that's it.
Right, but correct. And it is said that during Yule, at midnight in Windsor Forest, you could see Herne physically walking around Herne's Oak. Again, the tree
Okay.
where he hung himself and hung his
Yeah.
enemy.
That'd be cool to like to. It'd be interesting to go there for the history in general of that particular area, but it'd be even cooler if you were there and then mist came up and then here he comes.
Yeah,
It'd be a great experience.
no, yeah, I would love that experience. I've always said, as a devotee, I wonder if he would conjure, like, just like show himself, even as a little like sweep by,
Yeah,
or a shadow or something.
it'd be interesting.
I do
Mhm.
see. I've always said I want to go at Yule. I want to do that exact timing, but I don't like winter. B, the Windsor. Why am I holding a pen? Windsor Forest is closed at night. I wonder why.
Or is it? Mhm.
Right, right. Is it? Because I'm gonna just do a little step.
We could just go over.
I just like 20 minutes. Leave me alone. Let me give an offering.
Right. I just want to, hang out, not do nothing.
Right. He's not gonna get me. And if he does, then I'm meant to go. Then I'm going on the wild hunt. I gotta get somebody. Bye.
No.
But but I do want to go there so bad. I want to see the. I just because the original tree was blown down during a storm, and someone planted another tree in its place, and I want to go. So it's not the tree, but it's a tree at the same site, I believe, and I want to go there so bad.
That
Well,
would be cool.
yeah. I mean, at least they did replant something.
Yeah, yeah. It was a tragedy.
Yeah. And that's like a national monument, kind
Mm.
of.
That's like if Christ's cross was still up and hanging, and it just, like, I don't know, blew down or something and got torn up. Like, that's horrible.
Yeah. But you'd have to rebuild it. Sorry, I got the odds again. All right.
Okay.
I think we went over. Let's see. How did you come? The connection. Wait, did we do the connection one?
No. So my connection with him, I feel, is very um fatherly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Even though he's definitely like he was never a father in his actual living state. And that may sound odd, depend because you know how he's depicted as such like a horrifying ghostly image, someone full of evil and rage. But to me, that's just not the case at all. His story is one that transcends all different types of worlds and levels. And he's one that shows honor, loyalty, bravery, sacrifice. Like I respect him a lot. He's someone I in the sense where I feel like when it comes to deities, I feel like all of us really the deities we choose to work with and we have a relationship with is also deities we in a sense look at as role models. We, you know, kind of wish to be like them in certain ways.
Yeah.
And with that being said, in those cases like that, I do want, I do respect and look up to him in that sort of aspect. He's one that has always guided me. He guided me when I first met Hecate in the other world. He guided me to meeting Hecate. He has always just been there. You know, he hasn't been like he's not one to step up and say something straight to your face, but he's there. And when when you need a sign, he's always there letting you know, and he's always guiding you, even when you don't know it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Again, he's not the loudest deity. You know, he's not. He's a very quiet god, and when he gets loud is maybe when you should be concerned.
I'm
Hmm.
But
trying to think who the loudest deity would be.
huh?
So I'm trying to figure out like who the loudest deity would be.
Christ,
Well, I think that's only because of
and that's no hate. That's no shade. It's
no,
just
but it's like you're right. That was an obvious choice. But outside him,
outside him. Oh, Zeus,
you think Zeus?
Zeus. Uh,
Hmm, I can see that.
maybe not the loudest, but at least one of them.
See, I kind of feel like, in an odd way, I feel like Loki or
Mm.
almost Aphrodite in a way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just and just because, and I think that's just the world we live in now, where everything is hypersexualized, and
Yeah.
you can't have the feminine without the sexualization of the
Of
female.
yeah,
Yeah,
sexualizing the feminine.
but I think again, I think I'm just which we are heavily influenced by the world we live in,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But that screams at me like Aphrodite, fucking Loki, like not to mention like Loki is very prevalent in popular culture right now. So
Yeah, he
you
is.
see him and hear him everywhere. I mean, I have a cat named Loki, so you know.
That's all
But
right.
I
My are named after the charmed ones.
that's okay. That's fine. But like for him, one to have come about recent. I mean, that's a relative term because that was still hundreds of years ago. But like nobody, you don't like before you. Maybe one other person had maybe said something in passing in a video, talking about something else. Probably the
Right.
crossovers, you
Right. I'm
know.
just gonna close my
me-
door real quick.
Okay,
But continue, yeah.
but like it's not somebody people talk about regularly, if at all, because he's not very widely known.
No, yeah. Not yeah, no, again, quiet. Definitely not one to show face, to be in the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? But he is known, I will say, since we are talking about him being seen and stuff like that and being heard. It is said that and since I mean every natural world disaster, World War I, World War II, and many different others, he has been seen as kind of like like a warning calling. You know what I mean? A
Hmm.
warning sign.
Imminent disaster.
Yeah, and he's always been seen. I forget where he has been seen. I should have done more research on that. But you can look it up. He has been seen before all these world disasters, and not natural disasters, but world disasters. And I know certain people are still waiting for him to be seen again.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Hopefully not in the sense where I don't want another world disaster. But I've seen him in the woods. Like, that's good enough. You know what I mean? That's where I'll see you. And how I'll see you. Not because the world's about to implode. Thank you.
Well,
Well,
we'll see what happens Monday morning.
I think that's pretty much it, though. Other than
Trying to think, are there any other correlations or associations, Rowan, that you can think of? Because your question was like very unexpected and very good.
right, that was out of the box. That's why.
I liked it.
Give me more.
He's also a very striking individual. I'm just looking at that.
Yeah,
I'm
he
like,
is.
you can run up on me in the woods any day.
He is a strapping gentleman. Very strapping gentleman.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Yep.
He's a very horny individual.
And I will also add to that, he is a horned god, And again, going back to like, he's very blended. You know what I mean? A lot of people confuse Herne with Kronos, or confuse him with the Green Man, or Pan, all of these other gods, and he's similar in the sense where he is a horned god. He is a god of nature, of the wild, of the forest, of animals, stuff like that, of the earth. And he may even have horns on his head, but he is not the same entity, the same god. You know what I mean? They do carry that same universal energy, but he is not any of these deities. He is a much newer deity. He is the horned god of the new world, I feel. You know what I mean? Minus the devil. And he's even associated with as the devil. So,
Yeah.
So, but he's definitely his own entity. I feel that, Kronos is one of very shamanic, meditative energies, while you have the Green Man for vegetarian and the natural world, and you have Pan for the sexual and wild sense, but you have Herne for the vengeful and justice and magical side to him. They all carry these different energies and bring something different to the table, but it's the same table. I understand that, but again, they're all different. They're different plates. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. There's a place for all of them within the world that we work in.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a male deity, but I respect the masculine energy that I do feel occasionally. But I think it just emanates from me,
No, right.
because
And it's everywhere, just like the feminine energy is.
Right.
And the gods and goddesses are everywhere.
Yeah, and they don't. A lot of people don't associate like natural, like not deity related, but just in the natural world. Like you have male and female energies everywhere, all around you, all the time, and you can pull from those without having a deity assigned.
Yep.
You
You could use, for me personally, my practice, if you're looking for some type of protective feminine energy, you can use lavender. One of the greatest protective herbs you can use. While if you're looking for something more of that masculine energy, you work with cinnamon. Obviously according to your spell and how you're working it, but down to even just the tools we use have their own masculine and feminine energies. It's all about polarity and the balance of it. Everything is masculine, feminine, the yin and yang.
Yeah.
Working together but separate in their own unique ways.
Right, because they bring something different to the table that one lacks, the other has.
Exactly. And that's what makes the perfect match. The perfect match isn't someone just like you. It's someone who's not just like you. Someone who's basically the opposite of you. But y'all work, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we did
some
the same
cases
thing
it
at the
don't.
same time. Meh. You gotta have those little interlocking pieces.
Yes. Just like the little white dot, the little black dot.
Yeah.
It's like a pizza.
It's
One
like
side has pepperoni and the other side has sausage. Completely different, but go together.
Okay. At least you didn't say anchovies. So.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so mad about salmon. I don't eat Caesar dressing, but just knowing it's in there is gross.
But okay, so girl, I eat it and I still eat it because yes, it's disgusting. But I'm a
So you eat it and you still eat it, yeah.
You know about it and you still eat it.
correct. Whatever.
I would say.
But so good. So good. Because it don't taste like a fucking anchovy.
How the fuck would I know? I don't eat anchovies.
Well, neither do I. I've tried. No set.
Can't do sardines, can't do anchovies.
I can't do it. My mother does it. The last time we were out at a restaurant, she asked the waiter for a fucking little plate of anchovies. And the whole table was like, "You're disgusting."
I mean, some
We
people
were sitting
like
there.
it.
Huh?
Smoked sardines and fucking anchovies. It's like a delicacy to some people. Fucking pass.
Herring.
Excuse me. No.
But
Mm-mm. Mm.
you ever had frog legs?
Ugh.
Yeah, chicken.
Kind of.
Kind of. Girl, that tastes
Okay,
just like
okay.
chicken.
I don't care if you say it tastes like chicken, it's not chicken.
Well, I was gonna say if you've ever had snake or alligator,
I
Never.
haven't.
it's very similar.
I got
In
other things I can eat other than a snake or an
Have you had snake?
yeah,
Is it good?
it's not like I'll eat it if
Tastes
I
like
have to,
chicken.
but it ain't my preference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would prefer eel over a snake.
I will. I will dog an eel. An octopus? Give it to me right now.
No, I can't eat
Yes.
it. No.
What?
No.
Give me an
This
octopus
video
right
is
now.
over. Thank y'all for watching. We had a very good time.
This is just a normal chat for us on a regular basis.
Right. Give me an octopus right now. Hold on. Anyway, so that's Herne the Hunter, guys.
Herne the Hunter, side of anchovies, whatever.
That's the name of the video. Herne the Hunter with the side of anchovies.
Right.
It's kind of cute. I like it.
I might just.
Do it.
All right. All right, guys. We will catch you in the next. We have the next Dark Moon Cauldron chat is planned to maybe be a live party chat. So
Yes.
there's that to look forward to. So catch us around that time and we will see you then.
Toodaloo.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh wait, I can't fucking hold on. Okay, in the meantime, can I also say, because I wanted to announce Crescent Moon is our also new co-host for the Cauldron chat. So let's give a round of applause. Welcome to the Cauldron chat, Crescent Moon. We love you, girly. So
Thank you for having me.
now I have to find a way to end this, which will take me uno momento, I hope. So y'all
I'm the
can do
last
like
one standing with a photo.
So
Start
while that's going on, here is my rendition of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Okay, I'm hanging up. Goodbye.